All right, well, it happened. You're engaged, and now it's time to plan your wedding day. And as you may or may not have experienced, many brides are just overwhelmed when it comes to this part. But our next guest is here to help you out. Tatum Petrie is the owner of Make My Day Wedding and Event Planning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So ironically, as I was driving in today, I was talking to a very dear friend of mine who is getting married in November, and it's like, it took me back. There are just so many details, and it really is overwhelming.
Yes.
So let's talk about what is Make My Day Wedding Expo all about.
Yes. So the Make My Day Wedding Expo was created to connect brides with wedding professionals in a more intimate setting than you would get at your average bridal show. We don't want brides to walk in the door and feel overwhelmed by the amount of vendors, by the amount of brides that are there. We want them to walk in, feel special, feel celebrated, and then be able to talk about wedding details with wedding professionals so that that day they can decide who is a perfect fit for them.
Yeah, so you're walking away really with a better knowledge of who these people are, what they can provide you on your day.
Absolutely.
Without, just 100 people like standing in line to get the same information. Right. So let's talk about some of the exciting things that's going to make this event different from those huge bridal expos that we're all used to.
Definitely. So if you're a VIP ticket holder, you can come in the door. You'll get a tote bag and a bracelet when you enter. You also get access to a VIP after party where there'll be a fashion show and live music, food, and then everybody else during the expo as well gets food and gets to taste and see and smell everything that's involved in your wedding. We have special guest Desiree Hartsock from ABC's The Bachelorette. She'll be there joining us with her wedding planning book and her wedding dress line.
And so every bride needs to be a VIP.
Yes.
So how
buy
do
VIP
you?
tickets.
Okay, so you have to buy the VIP ticket to get the VIP experience.
Yes. So, and we're introducing it this year. The after party is immediately following the expo, so brides can go online and purchase their VIP ticket. And right after the expo is over, we head outside to the patio, and that's where the fashion show and the music will be.
So let's talk about who should come to this expo, because I think sometimes brides think, oh, I've got plenty of time, but you really can never start planning too quickly.
No. Most of the time, brides are booking their vendors a year out, even longer than that sometimes. So definitely if you're recently engaged and you're starting that planning process, come out. We have venues, photographers, caterers, stationary artists, and so any aspect that you need done for your wedding, you could come. And we encourage them to bring their fiancés and bring their bridesmaids and their moms. Anybody that's a part of their wedding planning entourage, we want them to bring out too.
But let's be serious. Should you be selective on who you do bring?
That is a good question. I would say the people who you value their opinion the most, bring out. A lot of times they don't bring their fiancés because the fiancés don't have a lot of say in weddings. But we like them to come out so they can pick out the music and the food. And your bridesmaids and your moms always usually have a good say, or at least your maid of honor.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk about intimate and interactive, because that's how you guys are selling this event. Tell us a little bit about what that exactly means.
Right. So intimate just means that there aren't hundreds of vendors. We have about 40 vendors. That way you're able to sit down with a vendor and say, this is my wedding date, these are my colors, this is what I'm looking for. And that vendor will also be able to tell you, yes, we have that date available. Let's talk a little bit more about details. So they're going to get a little bit more time. They're not just going to grab a business card and hope that they can figure out who they like later. You're going to be able to decide right then. Interactive just means that you're going to be able to taste food, taste drinks, smell flowers, look at photography. We have a lot of vendors who are doing a bunch of interactive things where we have one photographer who's going to let you take your engagement ring off, and she's going to take a picture of your engagement ring right there. And then you can share it on social media and win a giveaway. So you're really going to be able to be interactive with the vendors so that you can figure out who you love the most.
I mean, ideally, you can walk out of there with half of your wedding, if not more, pretty much planned.
That's the goal. Everybody wants to go to an expo to plan their wedding in a day. That's kind of the point of it, and we want to be able to make sure that you can do that. So we have a request a consultation station. So before you leave, if you're like, ooh, I want to set up a consultation with those 3 vendors, you go up to this station information, say, I want to meet with these 3 people, and we make sure they contact you to set that up.
Where were you 15 years ago? I mean, this could have saved me so much time. So quickly, before we wrap up here,
Yes.
you wanted to thank some of the people who
Yes.
provided this stuff.
Heather O'Brien Design did our stationery here, which are beautiful, and then Lori Parker Floral Studio did this beautiful bouquet, and then White Magnolia provided the dress that's behind us.
It's gorgeous. Do you also encourage brides to go on Pinterest and start sort of getting their
Yes,
ideas?
Pinterest is tricky. We like them to go on to Pinterest, but we like to have them realistic expectations of what they can get from that Pinterest photo. We like them to get inspiration, but then we like to be able to say, what specifically did you like about that photo?
Right. Good advice. Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sounds like a beautiful event. A special thanks to Make My Day Wedding Expo for sponsoring the segment. And remember, the event is on February 11th from 1 until 4. It's intimate, so that means limited tickets. The VIP after party is from 4 until 6 o'clock. It's being held at a venue called The Museum, located right off Art Museum Drive. And the address is 4160 Boulevard Center Drive.